Hey there, YouTubers. Welcome back to the bunker. I realize it's been a while. Apologize for that, but I've got a new video for you today. This one will be fairly short. This one is kind of on some recent experiences that I've had that I kind of want to talk about that I think bears repeating in the prepper community. If you've followed any of my videos in the past, you know that I've got my go bag or my go to war bag or whatever you want to call it, my bug out bag. That's a Maxpedition Vulture 2. And then I've got a get home bag. That's literally to help me just get home should I get stuck somewhere out in the wilderness or in whatever event may happen. And I've been doing a lot of hiking lately. And in my hiking, because it's already in my truck, I've been wearing my get home bag. The thought being that that's probably the one I would do the most hiking with, so that's the one I probably ought to be most comfortable with. It's an REI, large size, so it's the longer one. I think they either call them, there's two sizes. There's regular, and then it's, I don't remember if it's long or if it's large or what they call it, but basically it's just a little bit longer for a taller, more full-sized male. But this past weekend, went hiking and decided, well, I haven't actually worn my Maxpedition bag on a hike. So I got kind of interested in doing that and took it out. And these are kind of my thoughts on that. And having used both of them now, well, you know, if you've watched any of my previous videos, I sometimes kind of bag on the Tacti-Cool stuff. Now, Maxpedition is not Tacti-Cool. It is tactical. It is badass stuff. Very great materials, great stitching. It is a Molly bag. It's very capable. I'm very happy with this bag. But I'll be the first to admit, and I've got to say, the REI camping style bag was so much more comfortable to wear. And this was, you know, the forest preserve districts or the conservation districts that I can hike in. These trails are generally, you know, 2 miles to 4 miles. Not huge, not real long. Not like what I actually might be involved with should I have to hike home from work. I couldn't believe how much more comfortable this bag was. Now, in terms of the nylon, I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's not as tough as the Maxpedition, but to be quite honest, in many respects, it's not as tough. Do I think there's a real demonstrable difference for my purposes? No, I would say there really isn't. In fact, I like this bag. It is very lightweight. It's got great zippers on it, but it's maybe not as robust as zippers as this. I would have to take a little bit more care packing this than I could probably just shove stuff in there and whip the zippers shut, and I'm done on this one. I'm not in any way disparaging the Maxpedition stuff because it is high-end merchandise. But this was so much more comfortable. And this is how I carry it in the car, so it's not flopping around too much. The back, it's kind of concave here, and there's some ribbing. And then here, again, a little bit more of the venting, but there's a piece of plastic in here that contours to your back. So when you've got it tight, which is, by the way, for those of you that don't know how you're supposed to wear backpacks, you're not supposed to wear them loose. When you've got it tight and you've got it fitted to you properly, this feels like it's part of your body. But because it's got these channels and the different ribbing and things like that, it breathes. So are you going to get hot? Yeah, you're going to get hot. But it's not like the cheap Walmart crap that just sits on your back and it's like wearing a furnace sometimes. Now, the Maxpedition, first of all, it's not as long. And so being not only a bigger guy, but being a taller guy, the straps almost end up fitting around my belly rather than around my waist, where with this one it is not an issue. So if you're a taller guy, you really probably want to think about something that's a little more fitted for you. Because in the camping grade stuff, usually there are 2 or even 3 sizes for each pack. And if you go to a good store like an REI or an Air One, or there's others out there, and those are just the 2 that I'm most familiar with being in the northern Illinois area, you can get different sizes. And they're great packs and they're very comfortable. With the Maxpedition, the one thing I've noticed is that it's got a soft back. Now, that's fine, because this is where your hydration system is supposed to go, and I don't have the hydration system in it right now. But when I do, frankly, it's about the same thing. This soft back, you'd think that that would be great, and it would conform to you, and it would be very comfortable. I'm not saying that it was uncomfortable necessarily, but I could feel the material in the bag kind of sitting against my back. That thin, small piece of plastic that provides the back on this pack, I didn't feel anything that was in here. And to be honest, these two packs are filled with very similar things. They've got clothes in them, they've got tools in them, they've got fire starting in them, they've got water in them, they've got food in them. They've got very similar stuff in most respects. You know, this one's got more first aid than this one has. This one has, you know, the canteen and the fire starter, and this one's made for a little bit, roughing it a little bit more than this one in terms of what's in the pack. But they're very similar. So I guess if I'm kind of, the point I'm trying to get across here is that as preppers, I think we need to not just look at the tactical stuff. We need to look at what's going to work best for us. And I think preppers have probably, including myself, I think until now, we've probably shied away from the camping style stuff in favor of the cool tactical stuff, because this is what the soldiers wear in Afghanistan and stuff like that. And I think, to be honest, we do a little bit of that to our detriment. So really, next time you're out there, next time you're looking for gear, don't overlook the camping, particularly the professional grade, or the, I'm not sure what the word is for that, the higher end of the camping gear. I think you really might be better served in the long run in the situations that you're talking about. And for all the reasons that I've said, but I think I also mentioned weight. Unpacked, this pack is less than half of what this one weighs. And, you know, when it's packed, we might only be talking about a pound difference. But if you've got a long way to hike, that might end up being quite a bit of difference. So, hey, this is going to be a short one. I just wanted to kind of get that out there since I was thinking about it over the weekend. As always, I am very interested in comments. So if you have any comments, please leave them down below. And as always, be safe and be prepared. We'll talk to you soon.